Hello, hello from Pine City. Very hot and bright out here today. I cleaned my horse's water this morning. Well, actually, about 11 o'clock, it was 90 degrees in the shade. There is a tiger lily. That's a domestic one. Mine get pretty tall. There's some wild ones. They're a little darker. They're not in bloom yet, but they should be pretty soon. There's Chicky. Just thought I'd say hello. I got the app on my phone for GoPro, and then I had trouble with Google and Gmail. They didn't want to um, sync the dang thing this morning, so marigolds are just about coming in. Yeah, so that was a headache and a half. So I thought, GoPro can go in the box until things are a little bit better. Wow. So that was a cool little sparkle coming through there. Um, I got a couple more things written down on the tips for being around. We'll just call them the mean ones, whatever, They are what they are. If you're going somewhere or you're going to their place, I would suggest taking aspirins with you for your heart because the rhythm does get knocked off when you get upset. You drink lots of water, maybe even carry some snacks. I used to put like sunflower nuts in my purse and take a gallon of water with me and put it in the car, like an old milk carton or whatever, in case I was in a position where I couldn't stop because there was too many times where if one person's driving and they don't want to stop and you feel like obliging them out of being kind and that type of thing, you can end up really hurting yourself. So, and another thing is your jewelry. Your jewelry can be used against you. I know that sounds harsh and stuff, but I gave a lot of mine away. I actually literally gave a bunch of it to my granddaughter Joya. So if I knew my other three, I would give them. I've got a lot of jewelry for them too, some real pretty stuff, but um, I don't wear any. I might occasionally like put in like diamond studs, and I got like a silver bracelet that I love, chain bracelet, but very, very seldom. And it depends on my mood, what kind of mood I'm in, if I'm going to wear it or not. Because if I'm not feeling like really tough stuff that day emotionally, I'll leave the jewelry out. Makeup has metallics in it. Um, Vitamins do. Of course, we need vitamins in our system, but there is a lot of talk about, and I've got a copper bracelet too. It's really beautiful. It's got wolves on it. I raised a baby wolf and used to babysit wolves and stuff like that, so I'm kind of a wolf person. And even one of our cars has a plaque I bought, Lone Wolf, because that's literally me. Um, uh, Perhaps there might be one more lonely. Far more lonely, I guess, is the words. But yeah, the copper, it may give you too much copper in your system. If you're already got copper in your vitamins, and there's traces of it in meats and stuff, especially red meat, I would check into maybe not buying into that copper story with arthritis or anything else. So just in the ion bracelets, they can be dangerous too. Just kind of see how you're feeling when you're wearing them. If you psychologically think they're helping you, or if they actually do help you, maybe you are short on copper, but mm, you can literally get copper poisoning. So I would look into that. Um, excuse me. Um, Yeah, I just thought I'd get on here and jabber a little bit at you and say hi. See how your day is going. Tell you how my day is going. Hot. But I love it. I do. I love it when it's hot out. Wish I was at the beach right now. It's like a perfect beach day, just a little windy and like 90 something is just like nice. But yeah, I don't know if you know about Lake Superior is not the deepest freshwater. They call it an inland ocean, but it is the biggest. The deepest one is in Russia, but it's not as big. But that water is so clear and so cold. I think it's mean, what they call a mean average. I think it's, I'm going to say 34 degrees. It could be 36, like all year around. And if it does sort of freeze shut, they got the icebreakers. They'll go through and break the whole thing to keep shipping. And Duluth Port is just beautiful. I mean, all the Great Lakes are absolutely beautiful, but the biggest, prettiest one really is spectacular. It's so clear. There's one spot, it's really weird, that's outside of Duluth. It's on a river called Knife River. It comes out of the White Mountains. Lots of waterfalls all the way along the North Shore. I mean, incredible amounts because you're going up into the Boundary Water Canoe area. And it's just like right there. It's all there where they would make their portages. And in fact, my favorite spot on the lake is called Grand Portage. And it's just, well, except for in our country, but in Canada, is Thunder Bay, Ontario. That is so pretty. It's just, I mean, and thunder it does. I almost got swallowed by a wave one time there. I was on some rocks and like a 13-foot high wave hit them rocks and the sea tried to swallow me and I went running and it's like, whoa, just about didn't escape. But another time, my brother was, I'm going to say like he was 15, I might have been 12, and they took us up there. It was in April. There was still ice in the middle of the lake, but we were convinced we wanted to go jumping off a cliff. It was a 30-foot cliff, and a lot of people did do it. So we didn't understand how cold that water was being really young, and I think them people had really good insurance on us. In fact, I know they did. But so he jumped in, I jumped in. He jumped out really far. I jumped pretty close, but I was probably maybe about 100 yards from shore. I bet he was about 150. Well, no, it seemed like forever. I was probably 50 yards from shore, and he was probably like 75 yards or something. His name was Wally Jr., Wallace William Killeen Jr. So I looked at him. I'm freezing. I thought I was going to sink, and I looked out at him, and his lips were turning purple, and he was kind of like a girl type guy. Mean and very tall and very strong, but like too feminine for me to want to hang out with, that type of guy. So unless he was like doing my hair. No. But anyway, so I looked at Wally and his lips were like turning purple. So I knew if I pissed him off, and these words must have come from God. But I go, "What's the matter, Wally? Your lips are turning purple." Well, he was so freaking mad. He started swimming after me. And I started swimming, and we got up to shore. We got up into the car. We had an old station wagon. We got in there, and them people, the Killeens, Wally and Jackie, they were sitting there looking at us like they could not believe we escaped that ocean, that cold water like that. Like I said, there was still iceberg out in the middle of that thing. And that's the God's honest truth. Them people wanted us dead. So, and there's another time I was helping load a boat up on a trailer, and my dad tried to back over me with the motor, with the propeller, but I was quick enough to get out of the way, and little things like that all the time. So when I say God's with me and he's with me, it's all serious. I could tell you shit that they did forever, but I'm not having a sob story here. I know what evil, cruel people do, no matter what degree, is not a nice thing, But let me show you the girls. Just hanging out, having a nice day. Got my puppy over there by the porch. Yeah. I think I'll take you out and show you the skies. It's, I think I'm going to say it is, oh, 4:30, not quite 4:30. We'll go out here in the yard and we'll take a peek. So, kind of a clear day. It's got, cumulus clouds, big poofies, so, yeah. We'll just take a quick peek from this area. I'm not going to go out in the front. It's pretty warm out, like I said. We'll see. Okay, I'm going to start in the north. Here is the north. I'm going to look straight up. And then we're going to pan to the east. East. Southeast. South through the trees. Southwest into the sun. West. And northwest. So I'm going to go a little slower here. North. East. Looks like a face in that cloud right there. Right there. Okay, I'm going to switch hands. That's south. Straight up, kind of south. Through the trees. Southwest. Up in the air is southwest. West. And north again. Northeast still looks funky, the funkiest I would say, and over there it's kind of the pinky haze, like the Nibiru system. Don't know for sure, but it sure looks like something different. I mean, it just looks a little different to me than it ever really did. That's east northeast. There's a robin flying up there. We have the cutest baby bunny in our yard. He is like the fastest. We got several cottontails, but he is like the fastest little guy, and he's got like a little diamond spot on his head. Just totally adorable. Yeah, I thought, well, I don't have my GoPro going, but at least I can get on here and say hello. I think some of you enjoy it. I know I do when one of the people I subscribe to puts a video out, and if you're having a bad day and they have a good heart, it's like, oh, somebody cares out there, and I think, a lot of us YouTubers, do. There's some in the Nibiru community that are very Christian. Some in the Nibiru community that are phony Christians, or maybe I would even call them wannabe. Maybe they actually are, but like aren't quite doing it right, that type of thing. That's I'm not naming no names, but there's been some people that have been some real jerks to other people, and that's not very Christian as far as I'm concerned. But that's up to them. Well, there is a bunny over there. Bun Bun, little baby, is that you? That's you. Nobody can see you because you're concealed, huh? I'm not going to make you run. It's too hot out. Chicken going for a walk with me. Whenever I go, she'll walk alongside me and she'll be talking. And I'm going to make her a house inside Dusty's house. And I've got some wood to bar off part of that and insulate it for her. So it'll be really nice. And washed their Dusty's water today. Pony, what do you know for sure? That keeps the bugs off, huh? It sure does, doesn't it? Ladybug, what do you know? Not too much. Ha ha, hot. Okay, we'll go in. Going in. It's pretty dark in here. I got a lot of my shades drawn and my fan on in my room. So, oh yeah, it's 10 minutes to 5 right now. So, yeah. Animals. All of them. If I get cut off, I love you guys. God bless your day and hope you're doing well. I really do. Oh, yeah. Actually was an okay day. It just I've done a lot of work on a computer in my life, and I even worked for a stockbroker one time and did a lot of work, and that's the only reason I even went to college the last time was to even learn how to software application and clerical, and not like I needed to learn anything like that, like clerical, but it's just like, yeah, just in case I could say, hey, and human relations. Oh, it wasn't called that. It was, oh, human communications or something like that. I just got the best grades in the whole class with that. And it was so funny. Well, it wasn't funny, but here's a story. My son Jonathan was 11 years old, and I'm at Pine Tech, and he's going to Pine City Elementary. And the next thing I know, I look up from my classroom. There's that little shit standing in the doorway of my class. And because sometimes I would take him to school with me and let him sit in the lobby and cafeteria area, buy him something to eat, and he'd sit down and watch TV and kind of rest till I was done with my school. And or I'd go shopping and buy him something before school if I just had like an afternoon class or two, and then he'd sit around and wait for me. But this one time in particular, he was supposed to be in school. Looked up, there he was. So, this 11-year-old boy, my teacher for our communication course, gives him a test that we're taking that day. He aced it. It's like, oh my God, there's my little 11-year-old. Woohoo! It's like, and he is really good at communicating with people if he get off the drugs. Him and my oldest son, they start drinking and then the drugs take over. You know what I mean? Like they can't control themselves then. And it's not just soft shit. I've never stuck a needle in my own arm. Well, maybe a needle by accident, but but it's heroin and what else did it say? Speedball. So up and down and drinking and smoking and I was talking about sitting on a beach having a doobie or a pina colada. Thing is, I don't won't do them at the same time ever, and I only enjoy like a drink, maybe two, depends. And I actually literally quit drinking basically altogether, except for a half a glass of beer a few years ago. Like, oh, and then on Christmas time, about 7 years ago, excuse me, I had some eggnog and rum. It's really good, yummy. But then I just have that and then eat supper, so it's like a cocktail, actually like drinking my dessert before my meal is what it was because it tastes so good. It's just, I could get addicted to that. But so last year I didn't have none, and I don't think so the year before. Maybe the year before, but not to get drunk. Like I say, just a cocktail type. And so I've never actually been a huge drinker. Just your normal, maybe, um, 20-year-old or, young adult stuff. But it never really appealed to me. Actually, I went to Al Anon because everybody in my life when I was 17 were out of control and crazy and, all that type of stuff. So, yeah, couldn't deal with it and wanted other people to talk to that felt about the alcohol and the abuse and all that crap like I did. Like, what do you do when everybody around you is falling apart? So, um, well, I'll probably close this out, everybody. I just wanted to say hi. Maybe later I'll get on here if I think of any more tips or whatever. But just wanted to say hi. Um, yeah, this side of my face is smacked in my teeth. I have three of them missing. My jaw got hit so hard that it broke it over here. So I had three teeth that were cracked and had them two they left in for a while, and we put a gold crown on that, but I was allergic to the metal in my mouth, so I ended up and I can't have any implants or any of that stuff. I'm allergic to all the materials they use for that stuff, so it's a crazy world. But yeah, and I really got to honestly say I somewhat forgive the dude that did it, because the only reason anybody could ever get close to me is by me allowing them to. If I thought I was going to fight, I would have hurt them. But yeah, whatever. You know, that was the first time I got married. I was 17, and I had come back to Minneapolis, and I was going to call my parents who were living in St. Francis. We had moved out in the country when I was about 15. They moved out there, and I got a horse and chickens and all that good shit, but didn't stay around because my abusive grandfather molested me when I was 9. So he was coming back to live in the house, and he wasn't going to be around me as far as I was concerned. In fact, they sent me up north to take care of him that summer before that, and I kept running away. And I told him, I said, it's a good thing you're dying of cancer, because if you weren't, I'd kill you. And these people, you think when your kid says no, they don't want to be around somebody, you'd start asking questions. But I figured, well, he had left my dad and his family when my dad was little, so I didn't want to hurt my dad any more than he was hurt. And I carried that with me until my second husband opened his mouth drinking with my dad and blurted it all out at him. And then it was hard for them to accept. I don't think I know they believe me. They don't want to face it. Don't care. I think they had things like that happen to them. And when people have them type of things happen to them, they, well, actually didn't molest me, rape me. And my mom was too close to him too, and my other cousin, she was like weird, like incestuous, close to him too. Lucky for me, and it is lucky, because I can't imagine if you're actually related to somebody and they do that to you. Like my one natural grandmother, her own father did that to her. And I don't know how, that would be really difficult. At least this thing wasn't my blood, but it was still bad enough because he was an adult. So I've got big grudges against pedophiles, and then the shit that happened to my kids. I'll tell you that another time. I'll introduce you to a true fucking nightmare. Um, mm. So anyway, I started running away big time when I was 15. So, well, actually, my mom told me um, to leave and not let the door hit me in my ass, is what she said. So I went across the road and laid in the woods, and the bugs were biting on me, and I didn't know what to do. So then I started walking through the woods, and I got kind of lost, and I came out by a road, and I was freezing cold and wet, and I sort of fell asleep in the road, and then I met some people that helped me. All the time it seemed like people helped me a lot, which was really cool. They'd let me like do their dishes and stay there, get on my feet, and ask me what I was gonna do, and actually call the Colleens because I knew they had like an APB out on me and all that shit. So I'd call them and let them know I was alive, and they're like, "Where you're at?" And I'm like, "Click," you know. And then I took they brought me home. So then I took a paper bag, my swimsuit, pair of shorts, my jeans, jean jacket, and a quarter, and I headed down to Florida to pick oranges. Um, well, I couldn't get any job. I didn't have any documents of any kind. And I was on my way back, and I was in Bessemer, Alabama, and I got picked up by the cops and put in a holding juvenile thing until my dad flew down there and got me and took me back home and all that. But I never stayed there. Just couldn't handle it. It was just too much. It was all three of the people I lived with were terrible people. They really were. So anyway, enough of whiny. I'm actually not whining. I hope I'm telling you of myself. So the things that are in you, and I know a lot of you had horrible things happen to you, and they are horrible. And you do need to talk about them, tell people, because the more people speak out about the things that have happened to them, the more this crap's going to end. So, oh, and that bastard that broke my face too, he threw me down on the ground, and I was trying to climb up the curtains, and well, in the house, not the ground, the floor. And he kneed me in my ribs and broke my ribs too. So, yeah. And then I was trying to get out of there. I was walking through the snow way out in the middle of Montana, and he was driving a truck trying to run me off the road. So, yeah, not nice. But anyway, he was a ex. He was much older. He's 20 years older, and a friend of the family's was his. A brother was a friend of the family, so I thought he was nice like the brother. But boy, was I out of my mind. So was he. Ex-Korean vet, had been in parrot drop, paratrooper drop special forces, um, German speaking Norwegian. They called them sweeties, like metal plate in his head. Yeah, for something, God knows. But anyway, they dropped him in and they captured him for like 18 months or something and fed him like raw chicken. And I wouldn't have give that bastard nothing. But anyway, it's like he had raw chicken as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, he was mean. He was special forces. But I paid him back. I always do. I got up enough nerve. I had gone back to Minnesota, and oh, here goes another quick story. But this is funny. It is very funny. Um, I waited until he had had like a couple beers, and I had brought some hashish back, and I had gotten everybody on the train high up in the skylight and everything. We were just having fun, just laughing and looking at the scenery, it's like a 20-hour trip or something like that. And got back home and kept my hash out in the garage because it wasn't allowed around him. And he was the kind of dude, like if my cupboards were messy, he threw all my pans and shit down the basement stairs, and he's just fucking retarded. But anyway, so I thought, well, one time I did point a gun at him, and I had him out on my old Honda 90, and he said, "Can I come home yet?" And I said no, because I woke him up in the middle of the night with that gun pointed at his dick, and I said, I'll blow it off. That might have been the night he punched my dog was growling at him, my Irish setter, and he hit my dog in the mouth and broke some teeth of his and a goon. That was it. And I wanted that fucker dead. So it took me a while to calm down. So might have been about a week later or so. I thought, oh, well, I can't shoot him. That's murder. So I got high. I went out and had a couple hits. And then I brought it in the house. He goes, what the hell do you think you're doing? I go, wait, you're going to love it. So I sat down on his lap and I lit up that pipe and took the biggest hit I could possibly take. And I grabbed him around the head and I forced that shit into his lungs as hard as I freaking could. Then I stood up and I took another hit and I was coming towards him and he's all fucking dizzy and shit. I think I got 2 of them in him before he could control himself. But yeah, I do pay people back. I just don't let things go. It's not in my nature. You know, if I have the opportunity to do something to you because you've done something to me, I'm probably going to. You know, that's just kind of the way I roll. I try not to. Nowadays, I've gotten much better. I don't go out of my way to make a plan to do something to somebody, but I used to. So I think I'll be like Summer's here, Robin's Hoods. Maybe I'll put it at 33, like a. Oh no, too late. No, too late. Oh no, it is only 31 minutes. Maybe I'll give it 2 more minutes so people can call me a Mason. Could care less what people call me. So, yeah, I really hope you guys are doing well and don't be shy about telling me your sorrows because I not only will believe you, just telling somebody does absolutely help. And like I told you before, head psychiatrist of 5 counties in our state and really big counties, lots of people. And she told me, she said, well, I could give you some medication. You know, I knew there was nothing wrong with me. I just wanted somebody to talk to, you know, and somebody intelligent. And she started crying. And then I just figured there's no pill that can take away sorrows. Only God helps. God and good people and taking care of yourself. So, yeah. Okay, I'm going to make it to 33 and something just for freaking kicks here, you guys. God bless your night. And I might be on later to say I love you all and peace and love. Always, I'm always here for you. Need a place to stay? Need something? I don't have a lot of money, but I'll give you everything I can. So, y'all have a good night.